Today at the Roast and Ride, former Vice President Mike Pence was the only Republican candidate that gave a speech who has not officially launched their presidential campaign. Our political director Dave Price talked with Pence about his campaign and what it will be like potentially running against his former boss.
Okay, so this coming week, you got some stuff going on. You got a birthday, right? Some kind of announcement, town hall, a lot of things going on. Without spilling your beans here, we got a lot of people running, right? What do you think you uniquely bring to this race based on your background?
Well, Dave, first, it's great to be back in Iowa, and we're looking forward to being here on Wednesday. My wife and I have spent the last 2 years traveling the country. We've been listening very intently to people around the country about the challenges we're all facing. I mean, we have inflation at a 40-year high. We have a national debt the size of our nation's economy. We have a crisis at our border, and I think President Joe Biden has literally weakened this country at home and abroad. And we've been reflecting on where we might best serve. We've made a decision. We've decided to announce that decision in Iowa a little bit later this week. But to answer your question, I think it may simply be, experience. I mean, most people know me as Vice President of the United States, but they may not know that before that, I was a conservative governor in Indiana where we balanced budgets, where we cut taxes, where we stood for the sanctity of life. And we achieved record employment in the state and advanced education reform. Even before that, I spent 12 years in the Congress of the United States, ultimately in the leadership in the Congress, where we were able to fight against not just the liberals in the Democratic Party, but I developed a reputation for taking on the big spenders in the Republican Party. And so, you know, I hope if we enter this race later this week, we'll have a chance to introduce ourselves in some new and in renewed ways to people here in Iowa and really all across the country, that they could see a family that's made a lifetime commitment to advancing the conservative agenda, serving in the Congress, serving in the governorship of Indiana, and ultimately as vice president.
When you campaign here, for the most part, you kind of have one volume, right? You're not a screamer. You don't run around throwing your arms around on the stage, that kind of thing. At rallies, some of the other folks who are running, that's a big part of it, right? To whoop everybody up, to yell and scream and all that. Can people get behind kind of a consistently kind of like this guy? You know, it has nothing to do with policy or anything, but like, is that important?
Well, you know, if we enter the race, Dave, that won't be for us to say. But I've spoken at more than a few rallies in my day and had an awful lot of fun doing it. I think I have some experience getting people fired up, and should the day come, I look forward to that.
But you're not a yeller.
I would tell you, I do think there's a hunger for restoring a threshold of civility in public life. I think the American people long for us to establish a threshold of respect in politics that really is more reflective of how the American people deal with each other every day. So as we come forward, we'll have our own brand. You know, I like to say I'm conservative, but I'm not in a bad mood about it. And I think people will have a sense to get to know us should we enter this race. But I'm absolutely convinced the American people are ready for new leadership, gets us back to the time-honored principles that we advanced during our administration, I've advanced throughout my career, but also want to see us restore civility to public life.
You did almost everything your former boss asked you when you served with him. What is it like to potentially run against him? Is that awkward? Is that weird? What is that like?
Well, I would tell you, should we enter this race next week, I look forward to a debate with all the candidates. You know, I've debated Donald Trump many times, just not with the cameras on. And I'd look forward to talking about a vision for the future because, quite frankly, I was loyal to President Donald Trump throughout our administration. I'm proud of the record that we created. But obviously that diverged at the end when we took a strong stand for the Constitution. But frankly, as I see some of the positions that my former running mate and other candidates have taken with regard to America's leadership in the world, with regard to confronting the national debt, even with regard to the right to life, I think there'll be an opportunity to draw a contrast and lay out a choice. I'm going to stay consistent with the conservative agenda that I've always advanced throughout our career and our lives, and I'd look forward to debating that with him or anyone else.
Now, Pence did tell the crowd in his speech that He's making an announcement on his campaign in the upcoming week, which is presumed to be him throwing his hat in the ring. Coming up, a World War II